Hello, this is Stan Leavell. I've been a candidate for the U.S. Senate for Illinois for many months now. I have met so many wonderful people during the last 8 months. I have attended many protests, forums, news events. It has truly been a tiring but wonderful experience. I have, however, formed the opinion that Democrats have become complacent and incapable of seeking the bold change that has to be made in our party to regain the public's trust and votes. My experience with the local county politics and their precincts have been far less than impressive. Promises of volunteers and promises to have petitions signed and distributed never happen, not just to me, but to many candidates. It appears that most of these committees have become social groups. They're mainly there for dinner and a few speeches. Their leaders, they've become the big dogs in their little kingdoms. And it would look and appear that their purpose is to promote the career candidates with the most money and favors to offer. They've forgotten that ballot access is what it's all about. Creating access to the ballot allows for new ideas and bold ideas, not just the ideas of career politicians. In Illinois, we're very lucky to have such a large percentage of the population as members of the Democratic Party. This gives us a spotlight in the nation as a Democratic stronghold. But let me be clear on my position. The garbage that's coming from Springfield in the form of new laws, rules, regulations, and administrative codes have strangled the middle class, kept businesses from locating in Illinois, and have caused businesses to leave Illinois. Illinois has raised your taxes on goods and services and has caused your standard of living to plummet. No longer will the next generation, our children, have an easier time creating more wealth than their parents. It's time for a bold change in Illinois and the nation as a whole. We talk about health care as being a right, not a privilege, but the oligarchs of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party prevent that from happening because it's not in their financial best interest. We need a tax system that doesn't penalize those making $30,000 and rewards those in the top 1%. People who make $15,000 or less pay more taxes than those that make $30,000. This is just pure madness. Property taxes in our state are completely out of control. It's almost impossible for a retiree to retire in their home simply because they have to decide between paying the taxes and paying for groceries or health care. At the King's Rally on the 18th of October, I circulated among the crowd getting signatures on my petition for the ballot. It was a peaceful crowd, a wonderful crowd. The elderly, the working class, and those that understood about ballot access were eager to sign. They understood that ballot access is one of the most important parts of a democracy. They understood that's how new ideas are heard during the campaign process. Even though there were more signatures available than I could ever physically possibly get, or a team member, it was so disheartening to see that young people were often afraid to sign petitions. It didn't, just not mine, others too. Many said that they didn't want their name on something that could possibly be traced back to them. Paranoid about a government out of control, afraid that they might be singled out because they signed a ballot petition. I was shocked, but I was very angry as well. That government has become so polarized that signing for a candidate to be placed on the ballot could bring those who signed retribution. It's also interesting to observe that the obvious well-to-do individual had already made up their minds. I found this during the course of my campaign in almost every venue. Those people of means often tell you they want someone they know and recognize that has been part of government. They really want career politicians. They want them to have money. They want them to be able to run and put on the dog and pony show a career politician can put on. They don't care that that money's from other career politicians, billionaires, or corporate America. What they're saying is they don't want to rock the boat, and that those who have the most money are the most qualified. Well, obviously those people need to go back to high school and take a few civics classes, because that's not what the Founding Fathers ever envisioned. A question comes up often: have Democrats really become elitist? Well, it's hard to single out Republicans for this behavior when I personally witness this elitist behavior from Democrats quite often. A few weeks ago, I was denied a place on the stage at Citizens Action Forum at the Chicago State University. The reason that myself and a few other candidates weren't allowed to speak is because the organizers felt that the candidates that didn't have enough money in the bank should not be heard. That's what I said. The candidates that didn't have enough money in the bank should not be heard. That sure sounds like democracy to me. It's all about how much money you have in the bank. Not your ideas, not your dreams for bold change, not the unique ideas and perspectives that you bring from a lifetime of running a small business, working hundreds of employees, making payrolls, dealing with the public, and being terrorized by the very state agencies that are supposed to be representing you. Even though the top three candidates, as described by CBS News, have the most money, most of them have never experienced running a business, making a payroll, or the myriad of administrative and legal codes imposed by the Illinois legislature and its effect on small business. They're simply career politicians supported by billionaires and billionaire families and corporate money. It's obvious to me that your next U.S. Senator for the state of Illinois is going to be purchased. I said it, purchased by the Democratic oligarchs and corporate interest. It's with a heavy heart that I'm closing my campaign. But even though I'm going away temporarily, I want you to support Jump Shepard. He is a candidate for U.S. Senate, a grassroots candidate. He is the real deal. He is for the people. His message is genuine, and he was truly a breath of fresh air to me in politics. You can find out more about Jump at his website, and that is spelled JUMP, the numeral 4, Senate.com. And let me do that again. That's JUMP 4 SENATE.com. On his website, you can make donations and find out his plans for a better future for Illinois and the nation. It has truly been a pleasure to meet the voters of Illinois. I'll be back stronger next time, and with determination and a realization that we must have bold change if we are to prevail as a party. We must have bold change if we are to prevail as a party. This is Stan Leavell, candidate for U.S. Senate.